Any updates on Layla Santinello? I'm glad you asked. So let me just step away from Alec Murdaugh for just a quick second. Yes, there's going to be some updates. We are going back to Tennessee. We are going to be getting some flyers together. We're going to be passing around information, but we're going to be doing a search party in Tennessee on September 17th. So September 17th is my birthday. Last year for my birthday, I was working and trying to help locate information related to Michael Vaughn. This year for my birthday, I'm going to be searching for Layla Santinello. And so we're going to be having a search party. It's, I think the way we're going to design it is we're all going to probably meet. There's like a strip. I've still got to coordinate some areas. I think we're going to try to have, depending on how many people show up, you never can gauge these things. We haven't really started pushing it. This is the first time that we are even bringing up a date at this moment. But it will be September 17th. We will be out there. It looks like we're going to find a location to meet at 8:30. It looks like, if possible, we're going to try to break into 3 teams, 2 at minimum, 3 teams. And we have certain areas that we are going to be searching. The reason why we're doing 2 to 3 teams and not anything bigger than that is because we only have walkie-talkies for 3 teams. And we need those walkie-talkies because if somebody does find something, we need to be able to get law enforcement out there immediately, and so on and so forth. But if you would like to come, this is in Kingsport, Tennessee. You can come in on the 16th. You can be out on, the evening of the 17th and back home either the evening of the 17th or early morning of the 18th. But I really would like anybody and everybody that is willing to put boots on the grounds, is willing to just walk and talk, knock and post and just get as much information. If you do find somebody that does have information, firsthand information, we need to get them in contact. First thing you need to ask is whether or not they've been in contact with law enforcement. And if they have not, we need to get them immediately in contact with law enforcement. There's just a lot of stuff. And so we want to get people out there and at a location at 8:30 so we can go over best practices and also areas to clear. And, we just some minor training and stuff like that. We want to keep everybody safe, so we'll be coordinating with other people to make sure that we are safe while we are out there in the areas that we are going to be identifying. So with that being said, September 17th, mark your calendars. If you would like to come out there and help, please do. But we're going to go out there. We're going to help this mother. This mother wants to bring her daughter home. And not that the father doesn't. I just haven't spoken to the father. I have had no communication with him. So I'm going to continue working with mom until that changes. If you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. Happy to speak to you if you so choose. I'm happy to keep you informed as we have boots on the ground out there. Otherwise, you can continue having your phone service your phone service PI help you. So it sounds like all he does is pick up the phone and make phone calls. I'm not that. That's not me. I don't mind picking up phone calls and making phone calls, but I've got to be out there. Your daughter doesn't have really much of a digital footprint out there during this time, and I know that there's nobody that's going to be able to shake the trees like somebody with boots on the ground. Period. So that's what we're going to be doing. So now you have an update on that. There's a $2,000 reward for any information leading to the whereabouts of Layla Santinello. Somebody knows something. I will tell you that. I know that 1,000, 2,000, 1,000,000% that somebody knows something. And I want to know who picked her up. So another juror couldn't or wouldn't sit still during the trial. Seemed like every time she shifted the chair, it would make a loud squeak. Occasionally, attorneys would wait for the rhythm of the squeaks to subside before continuing their cross-examination. Then there was the egg lady, the juror that worked on the monkey farm in Low Country. She drove Judge Newman bananas one weekend, pun intended. Through the Facebook page, Walterboro word of mouth, about 20,000 followers. The juror's ex-husband posted about how she was talking way too much to friends and family about the case. Many people became aware of the situation after court on Friday, February 24th, and it was brought to the attention of Judge Newman. I typically didn't have the time or energy to watch any media coverage of the trial, but on that Friday night, I scrolled through the Walter Burr word of mouth social media feed and saw saw the post from the ex-husband, but he didn't mention the juror's name or her juror number. So they knew that somebody on the jury was talking. They just didn't know who it was, and they didn't know who he was. So, this is kind of explaining this a little bit better. At the time, I didn't think about it, but I kept scrolling mainly because I had been inundated with emails and messages from people all over the world about what they had heard, what they had seen, how the prosecution and the defense should run their case, how Judge Newman should rule. I can't even imagine. Yeah, the world of technology, right? We can just contact people we don't know and tell them about themselves. Love it. What to address with anyone and everyone involved in the courthouse, and so on. I felt like a principal dealing with tattletales. Now your hate channels know what the real adults actually think of you. This is. I'm not lying. This is the hate channels. Standard operating procedures. Reach out to government officials at Tattletale. This is a government official. It tells you what they really think about those hate channels that do this, because they do this. You've heard them say they do this. Listen to this. I felt like a principal dealing with tattletales and problems and issues every day. So you know what she's saying? When you act like this, you're acting like a freaking 2-year-old child. Way to go. Right from the mouth of babes. Babe.
Phone by
hold on. I just passed this. First of all, I want to tell you, Spice Girl, I don't know who you are, but you don't come in here and threaten me. You don't come in here and threaten my family. You don't come in here and threaten my subs. No, we don't do that. And at the end of the day, I'm going to Tennessee to search for a girl. And if anybody tries to stop me or tries to intimidate me, they will have their ass in jail. I don't play. I do not play. And this time, my cameras will not be going off. And if she comes out there after following me from Florida to Georgia, now to Tennessee, she will be in jail with a felony. I've got documentation of this. I bring it with me everywhere I go. When the cops are called out there, believe me, she will go to jail. I can guarantee that. It will not end well for her. It will end well just fine for me because I don't break the law. But her coming and intentionally coming to another state, yeah. And believe me, I will make sure law enforcement knows of her, has a picture of her, and has all the documentation of her assaults on me, her threats on me, and everything else. So if she wants to come around and play with these games, and she wants to threaten me on other people's social media, people that I'm like it's going to be used against them, then please, by all means, I can promise it's not going to end well for her. It'll end well just fine for me. Because for the last 2 years, your camp has been saying that I'm going to jail. It seems like everybody in your camp has gone to jail. Even Eileen. Eileen went to jail. BK went to jail. We got White Boy Lockdown in jail. It seems like you guys deal with a whole bunch of criminal people. We do not over here. So you go back to your criminals. You guys can all go to jail as far as I'm concerned. But you do not come over here. You do not threaten me. You do not threaten people in my chat. And as a matter of fact, don't ever come back here again. So let's talk about that. And I guarantee by the time we're all said and done with this, Dolly will be just fine because we know who the problems are. We can prove who the problems are, and I will not be intimidated. You okay? I'm done with that. I even told Olivia when we go out there, we start hearing about intimidation, we go through. Because every time we go somewhere, we hear that we're going to be, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. It never happens. And if she wants to go out there and mess around with a search of a missing girl, a coordinated search with a missing girl, with the family, a coordinated search with their family, and she wants to go out there and be a fool, now we can identify she does not care about anybody. Nobody. And if people want to continue to support that woman, You guys are supporting her alone. Maybe you guys need to start getting some bail money and commissary money if she's planning on coming to Tennessee. That's all I'm saying. And you can see, here, let me just take this. Not triggered, not upset, but I'm very confident that she comes there and intimidates me or puts a hand on me or comes there MFing around, she will be the one in jail, like she has been many, many times before. Dick Harpootlian is so invested with Allie. He is. That's what people don't understand. He's willing to put his butt on the line for this man. They are friends. They are very good friends. And they have even Jim Griffin. Good friends. Now, there, in my opinion alone, there is issues with this whole concoction of attorneys. They're friends. Obviously, they've scratched each other's back in the past, so they're loyal to each other, but that's not even it. Look at how much national and global attention James Griffin and Dick Harpootlian are receiving. The publicity alone is worth taking on this case pro bono for them. I can tell you that. Harpootlian. There's absolutely no reason for anyone to go up and start crap. Exactly. We're looking for a child in coordination with a parent. So, yeah. If you're there, all you're there to do is start trouble, and that's the one thing that this case does not need. But hey, if you want to be put on blast and you just think it's going to make you look so good, it makes you look like trash ghetto shit. That's what it makes you look like. But that's really what you espouse anyways. So I guess that's a compliment for your kind. I just want them to turn their cameras on. I honestly believe if these creators turn their cameras on, the people that are hanging out with them would look at them and say, these aren't, these people on social media would never hang out with these people in real life. They're disgusting. They're slobs. They're criminals. They do drugs. Like in reality, the people that are on their channels hanging out with them for hours on end every single day in real life would literally look down on these people. Look down on them. When you turn on the cameras and you see that they haven't cleaned up their dog and there's crap literally on their floor, it kind of turns your stomach a little bit. These are people that they would only hang out with online. And that to me is like, I don't know. I can't do it. If I'm not hanging out with you in real life, I don't want to be spending my time with you in the digital world, Sorry. Oh my gosh. Oh, 357. Some idiot. I was threatened with bodily harm that if I went to Tennessee to help Layla's mom search for her daughter, that I would be met with bodily harm, is basically the threat. That's what they said. Searching for a girl. So now actually putting boots on the ground. But again, it's their camp. They're trying to that whole side is representing apparently the father that has only been to Kingsport a handful of times, which God bless him. I mean, when parents divorce and you move to different areas. I mean, we see that with Hunter. His father lives in New York. His mother lives in Kingsport. It's not uncommon. One of those nerds. Yeah, it's just kind of like that. So it's hard because, I mean, I understand the father wants to find out stuff too, but you can't take money away from rewards and away from boots on the ground in that area, like her PI, for example. Her PI cost her almost $2,000 to get. But he's a Tennessee PI, somebody that can literally get, like, be boots on the ground every single day working for this lady. Not somebody that's thousands of miles away using a telephone and thinking he's doing something. Oh, I called. You know what he told me yesterday? He told me that he coordinates with the FBI. First of all, let me just tell you something. I personally know several FBI agents. One that's active and two that have been retired. I know a retired CIA agent. And one thing I can always tell you is they can't stand PIs. That is the truth. They don't like them. They think they meddle in all their crap. They think they're too damn nosy. They think that they are deserved information. This is what I'm hearing from them. This is what I've been told for years. They do not coordinate with PIs. They do not coordinate them. They do not coordinate with them. If they don't even give them any information. The only thing that they say they do is if a PI calls them with information, they will take that information. They do not discuss the case with them. They do not coordinate with them. So this is a PI telling this family that he's coordinating with the FBI and law enforcement. That's horseshit. It's a lie. You may call them. They may speak to you. But they ain't coordinating crap with you, dude. You are delusional. Even the officer in Kylie Rodney's case even said something or something to the effect of, we don't coordinate with private investigators. Give me a break. This dude is just full of, and that's what I can't stand. But he says, you know what? Listen to this. So this really, and I told you guys this, that he has spent days arguing with me. I'm going to keep the argument going to see how invested he's going to be in this argument with me. I am going to keep it going because I'm curious. I mean, he stirred up all this stuff to get himself notoriety, right? But I'm the clout chaser, but he's using me for clout. Sounds like they're the clout chasers. If you ask me. So they're saying that that he's coordinating with law enforcement. How are you coordinating with law? You're not even there. You know who's there? Layla Santinella's mother, Jen Santinella. Layla's brothers and sisters. Layla's daughter. You know who's not there? This crackpot PI. That's who's not there. People are trying to say, oh, he's got a pilot license and he went. Then show me the flight manifest. You gotta put your flight track down. You can't just get in your plane and fly. You gotta put in paperwork to get in your plane. In where is it? If you were in Tennessee looking for this young girl in a plane, that's what's now being alleged, that he was out there looking at a plane. Prove it. Give me your flight log. I guarantee you don't have any. I bet you if I called and did a public record request, I bet you I will not find your license on anything in Kingsport, Tennessee. And by the way, it is a government agency, and I happen to pull public records. It's part of my job. So I know how to do it, and I know how to acquire them. And I know how easy it is to acquire that information. So I would caution you before I make you look like an idiot, that you quit lying to your audience and start telling them the truth. That's all I'm going to say. Everything's provable. His nonsense, provable.